So, Mr. Chapman, we think we might want to hire you for this position here. It says on your resume that you have many skills in this area, but I had a look at your college degree. It turns out you only have a bachelor's in arts with a concentration in this area, not an actual degree in this area. And you also have a concentration in biblical studies for some reason. So my question is, before we move any further, what sort of practical skills do you have in the area that we're looking to hire you for?
Well, I took classes in these areas, and I also, throughout all of these classes, I got a biblical worldview of how these skill sets work and how I should apply them to carry out the kingdom of God and advance it, and just how great of a thing that is. So if I work for you, sir, I will be able to impact the world for Christ.
Well, that's wonderful, and our company is very respectful of your religious standpoints there, Mr. Chapman, but that is not quite what we're looking for a job like this. We're looking for more practical skills related to the area that we had asked for.
Oh, practical skills? I mean, I can do sword drills. I can find a Bible verse faster than anyone ever.
Well, we're not looking really for anyone skilled in swordsmanship or finding Bible verses. If we put you in a workroom right now, what would you be able to do that would make you stand out from your competition?
I can do a word study better than anyone.
Okay. One more question. Let's give this one more try. How would you classify yourself? What is it, in 2 words, what sets you apart from the others trying to get this job?
I am a ministering professional.
Okay. Well, it was nice talking to you. Don't call us, please. We'll call you. Maybe. Thank you very much, and enjoy reading your Bible.
You know, I've been working really hard for almost 4 years now. Working hard at my double major and my minor. A lot of classes. Summer classes. 18 credits in 1 semester. All that. And I know it'll be worth it when I get up on stage and I get handed that diploma and it says Bachelor's of Arts. That's it.
Hello and welcome to Bursting the Bubble. I'm one of your hosts, Michael Lanier.
And I'm your other host, Josh Chapman.
And this is episode 9. We are finally back. We've been gone for a few weeks. It's not because we got in trouble or anything. It's not because the army came back. It's just because we've been busy, and we think we want to start doing this more of a when we can basis, more than every week like we've been doing. So it might still be every week, but it might be less often. So bear with us, our faithful small
Contrary
audience.
to popular opinion, we do have lives outside of this.
Today, we're going to talk about something that is very... We're going to try not to get too crazy with this, because we love CIU, but we had to talk about it at some point.
And it's not exactly a comfortable issue for some, but it's important enough.
We're talking about the quality of education and the way our degrees work. And to preface, allow me to say that quality of education is not like what goes on in the classroom. Every class I've taken has been useful in some form or other. The teachers are fantastic. Professors are fantastic.
And I would like to second that CIU professors are some of the most humble and wise people that I've ever met, and I am honored to be instructed by them. So it's less maybe the teachers per se as sometimes curriculum choices and just the overarching kind of directions of the education we're receiving.
What we're trying to get at is the way our catalogs are set up and things like that, giving us a lot of classes that are Christian classes, but not a lot of practical skill classes.
Well, let's begin by setting kind of the groundwork structure here. At CIU, obviously, everybody is a double major, required to take both Bible and a major of their choice, correct?
Right. We have the double major thing. And so we take enough credits to get a degree, by the time we graduate.
Well, let's establish there something that just recently came to my attention. You knew about it previously.
Yeah.
But that is at least called a double major. It was when I first looked at attending CIU. But come to find out, it's only, and I wondered this before too, are we doing double the workload of a normal college student at another college? Well,
Not so.
no.
We're actually
CIU's
doing
double major
half.
is not a true double major, yes. What we're getting is a bachelor's of arts with an emphasis.
Or science or business or whatever.
Or whatever it is. But whatever college it is, and whatever major alongside Bible you've picked, you're not getting a degree in that major. You're getting an emphasis, a bachelor's of arts with an emphasis in Bible and your area of choice.
Right.
Now, why is that important? Well, that's not as potent on a degree.
Right.
When you're seeking a job, I thought that double major would seem accomplished. That makes me seem like an overachiever.
But it's not double the work, it's half the work.
It's basically the equivalent of one normal degree, except that it's not a full degree in either. So it's basically you're getting two halves of two different degrees.
And that makes all your minors mean almost nothing.
They're almost like sticky notes tagged onto your degree at this point. Now, I want to stop there, though, and say that even if it's two halves, let's start with the Bible half. The Bible at CIU is phenomenal.
And the reason for that is way back when, in the CBC days, it used to be that you had to get a Bible degree. Like, there wasn't this double major. Yeah, you had to get a Bible degree, and then they started adding in minors of your choice, but you could only major in Bible. Then they started doing the double major thing.
So because of that, and I mean CIU has upheld that standard, and I applaud them for it. Our Bible professors are top notch. They're the, like,
if you
best
want a
of their
biblical
class.
education, there's not many
And
better places.
The teaching and the wisdom that I've received through those classes, I mean, I can't compare that to anywhere else. CIU is the best place to go to learn the Bible, at least at an undergraduate level now, and I can't speak for the seminary because I've never been in it. But from what I hear, it too is great. So we're not at all putting that down. The problem that we're kind of realizing there is, though, that what if, as I think both of us are, what if you came to CIU to get a degree, but you're not intending to go into any formal type of ministry with your degree? That leaves you reliant on your other major that you picked, which, come to find out, isn't an actual degree. It's just an emphasis. So that's where we're at with this, is realizing that at CIU, all other classes that you take, aside from Bible, and this is rightfully so, or in taking these classes, they're wanting to inject Christian perspectives and beliefs into these classes, to not teach them as, say, the secular world would teach them. And that's a great thing.
Which is great, yeah.
But you can't do that and sacrifice the practical utility of these classes in the process. And I guess we should just come right out and say that that's what we feel like happens sometime.
Yeah, there are several classes that I've taken that are required for my specific major that don't really have anything to do with my major. And I'm not talking about Bible, I'm talking about my choice major. They're fine classes, there are other classes I wish I could take, and they don't exist.
More classes that provide practical skills, and I mean, I can think of some that I'm taking that are great classes in and of themselves, but when I look for practical, like, life applications, they have them, but in the context of a business, like making a living for myself, the only applications they would have would be if you're a pastor.
Right.
Literally the only ones in one class I'm thinking of. That it's a great class teaching you discernment, but how am I going to take this out into the real world? Now, I could see some arguments that could be made for it, but they're very minor, and even then they would only work if I was going out into the world to do a particular, like, Christian style of whatever this business is.
Right.
It would have to be a Christian business, and let's be honest, then I'm left with two options. I either have to go find a Christian business to work for or start my own. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to go out, your first job, you're going to be working for probably a secular boss or employer.
Yeah, that's why we're not business majors, because if we wanted to start our own business, we would have been business majors.
I don't have that kind of skill set, okay?
Yeah, me neither.
The point there is, and I've only come to realize this as my years at CIU have gone on, am I getting the skills that I really need to be successful in life, or once I graduate, am I going to be realizing I have a piece of paper that doesn't quite hold the weight that I once thought it would, but even so, it does say that I graduated from college and that I did study particular program, but
Yeah.
once I get out into the real world, am I going to know how to do what employers in the area I study are going to want me to do?
Yeah.
Am I going to have the skill set that they require, or I'm going to be lost? Like, teach me how to do what I need to do.
There are several classes I've taken, and they were supposed to teach practical skills, or that's what I understood going in. And now coming out, I still can't do any of those things that I thought the class was going to be teaching me. We're going to talk a little bit more about this, but first, we're going to go to our song in the middle.
And tonight's song comes from an artist named Still Kickin. And he sends a message saying, I used to write good music, and I don't anymore. But hey, I'm still making money, and I'm still kicking. He has submitted a song tonight called Spotlights, and this is a long one. So we'll see how this goes. Let's give it a try. Still Kickin' and Spotlights.
You called me out into the spotlight to be the one who leads the band. And there I sing and play the guitar. The songs aren't deep, the prayer is planned. And I will yet further my name, keep my eyes upon my fame. As long as I can make believe I'll win the game, if I just sing and sometimes rhyme. Oh, oh. The words are sung, but I don't hear them. A catchy tune, but words unknown. The bulletin has my name in it. My season's now, my chance can't be blown. And I will yet further my name, keep my eyes upon my fame. As long as I can make believe I'll win the game, if I just sing and sometimes rhyme. Oh, oh. Whoa. How convenient that the bridge is slow and thoughtful, though the structure is quite awful. It's fun to sing in slide notes. I sound good, I'm not a half-bad worship leader. I can even stretch the meter, and I'll still be just as skillful. I am prideful, but I'll wind up at heaven's gates, as predestination dictates. But I'll bet that when I get there, I'll be laughed back down until I hit the church stage, and there I will for all my days be stuck repeating this bridge. Wait a moment, isn't this the third time this bridge has been sung? Isn't that a smidge too much to be called worship? But this bridge is in two parts and may sound the same, so that makes 6 times, so I claim that I've repeated the same tune. Hands are raised and eyes are closed and heads are lifted. What if the lyrics shifted? Would anybody notice? What if I just sang some random worship sound bites? Like on fire, cry out, salt and light. Oh look, more hands just went up. I am getting bored of all this repetition. Is it faith or superstition when repeated words gain power? In a moment, though, the drums will play an odd beat and snap back as I will repeat. All those hands will shoot up this time. Hillsong, lead me where my music's without borders. I am your biggest supporter, though your songs are not creative. How did you become such a big deal in music? You can't even rhyme with order. All but that world is not nothing. You just want to further your name and keep your
rise upon your fame. And how dare you just make believe and play that game? I'm glad that I don't act the same. Well, I really liked that. Skilled guitar playing, some good singing there. And I love just the ambient noise that the drums are making, the ambient atmosphere that was creating. Very skillfully, artistically done. I can totally tell that was very choicely crafted. So, very good, very good. I think I would definitely have them on again. So, let's get back to our talk now.
Welcome back. We've been talking about the quality of education from kind of an administrative standpoint.
And just the practicality of some of what we're taught. Like, is this actually preparing us for the real business world? Because there's no doubt that it's preparing us in a moral sense for the world and how they look at things through the Christian worldview.
Right.
But is it preparing us with practical skill sets that honestly have nothing to do with anything Christian?
And I feel like we're being trained to either be professional ministers or ministering professional ministers.
Well, it's in the name there. Yeah, maybe it's not a particular Christian skill set, but you're definitely being trained to go out there and work maybe for like we've been saying, secular business, but that is Christian in its ownership and maybe values. There isn't a whole lot there that's just training you straight up for a job that doesn't have anything to do with Christianity, at least at face value. But can we just say there are jobs out there that have to be done in the world that have nothing to do with Christianity? And furthermore, ones that I think God rewards people for. I mean, there's a garbage man out there. He's got to do that job. Somebody's got to. A janitor, Christian training wouldn't help you. Now, granted, those are jobs you probably don't need a whole lot of training to do. But you get the point. What we're saying is that there are jobs out there that I feel like God does call people to do, but you need practical training. And I think that CIU needs to realize that there are people who want both. And I think they do to some extent. But that leads us into what we want to say next is the focus on different aspects of a career or vocation, where you can go, and how CIU kind of, how would you put it, Michael?
I think there are some programs at CIU that are just kind of overlooked a little bit.
That may be a harsh word for it, but let's just call it what it is. Like we were talking earlier, and we don't want to knock that in any way.
Nobody's 100% neglected.
Yeah, but the Bible is great at CIU, but it feels like there's probably more funds given, and here we admit we don't know. That's speculation.
We've
Sorry
always said,
if it's
we've
wrong.
always said everything we say is not guaranteed.
We're just guessing because it is apparent that we have top-notch Bible curriculum, professors, everything. But in other programs, it feels like at times that they're perhaps limited in what they can do and set out to accomplish. And I know of programs that don't have the equipment that they ought to have, that students wish they had and ask for, and it's just the same old equipment or same old resources available to experience practical hands-on learning.
Which affects assignments, which affects how much you're doing that goes toward a practical skill development. And, can I just say, most majors have practical skill development as part of the degree, but you're left on your own for that for the most part.
Yes, you're referring to the internships.
Yeah, but some majors call it practical skill development or practicum.
I concur with that, and I'd like to this is a bit off topic, but just throw this out here that one thing that I wish CIU did better in that area that kind of shocked me was that they don't really offer any help in finding that internship.
You have to find it yourself.
You would think that your advisors would have the connections necessary. I'm not saying they'll do the work for you or just hand you, here's somebody that wants to hire you. But in my own experience through looking for an internship, I found that exactly what we're saying was true, that, wait a second, what people are wanting are skill sets that I have not yet developed because I didn't really know that I need to for what I'm studying. So it kind of came as a shocker that CIU doesn't really have a very well-developed way to assist you. And I want to add, I think that they may be working on something for that I've heard, but I'm not going to get into it because I don't know if that's a sure thing or not. Regardless, the overall point being, there's skills we're missing out on, and it's becoming more readily apparent as we near graduation.
And some majors can't even get enough people working as professors
and that's a problem
or adjuncts
too.
or whatever.
You know a little bit more about that. But
there's some majors that can't even get enough employees in the program to teach all the classes that need to be taught. And even then, when all the classes do have professors, it's still, there are some skills that I can identify that I don't have training in.
So ultimately then, what are we saying with this? And we're just two students. It's not like we can say or tell anybody what to do. But the whole point of this podcast is criticism, but constructive, where we want to try to encourage and offer solutions. So it just seems to me that CIU maybe needs to consider going forward granting more credence to its non-Bible majors, and realizing that many students who come to CIU, they're wanting the Christian atmosphere, so they don't have to put up with, as I did, I'll just offer that I went to a unnamed college for my first semester that was supposedly Christian, but the atmosphere was not really Christian.
But they gave free iPhones.
Well, no, iPads. We've said that before in a previous episode. Point being, I came to CIU in part as a sort of refuge, and I have to commend it for being a place that upholds standards, and it upholds a righteous sort of living. In no sense am I saying get rid of that. Hold it, please. And also hold the Bible major. Hold CIU as a bastion of biblical teaching, as one of the few remaining places maybe that you can get this quality of biblical education. But do acknowledge that there are people who will come to CIU seeking that refuge of Christian atmosphere, and yet want to train to go out into the business world or the secular marketplace. And they need more than the Bible to help them succeed there. The Bible is obviously of utmost importance, but they're also going to need practical skills.
Yeah.
And you do want to, if we're talking, say, business, you do want to instill good business practices in students and not teach them to be somebody who's going out there and cheating people just to succeed. We're not saying that. But they do need to know the practical skills to get ahead in life.
Right.
And you can't take away from the one to give to the other, is what we're saying. And we understand that takes resources, money, and time, and we may not have that. But the long-term goal for CIU, I would argue, needs to be supportive of people who are there for things perhaps other than Bible.
I agree.
But I want to add, not people who are there only for things other than Bible.
Right.
I don't really think that such people have any belonging at CIU if they reject the Christian atmosphere and faith, and they don't want anything to do with the Bible or learning or discipleship. Those are only going to drag us down.
Yeah.
So.
I also wouldn't even be opposed to splitting off the majors, like getting more credits in. Well,
you mean what you mean there is that we would have a non-mandatory Bible major, but the Bible major would be bolstered into an actual Bible major, whereas the other majors would be majors in their own right, and therefore they would bear a little more weight.
Yeah. And then we would still have electives that we could do Bible stuff with and whatever.
I agree with you. And we would
still have the Christian atmosphere chapels. You'd still have Bible professors speaking.
I agree with you, but in the sense that they would not need to relinquish any of their Christian atmosphere and standards.
Absolutely
because
not.
That college that I previously attended, that's how they were. The Bible was not a required thing. And I can see how they were slacking on standards and how the moral climate had gone downhill. So I don't want that for CIU. But we're just speculating here. We're not saying that's going to happen or anything. But it just seems like maybe a move that CIU will maybe make in the future. Who knows? But I believe that it would grow the school, and it would be nice to see that happen.
We like the way CIU handles the Christian atmosphere, and we hope that that keeps going on, no matter what they decide to do about their majors or classes or whatever else. And with that, we are going to go to our entertaining credits.
You've been listening to Bursting the Bubble, hosted by Michael Lanier and Josh Chapman. Bursting the Bubble was created by Michael Lanier. This episode was formatted and edited by Michael Lanier. Our theme song is the Columbia Bible College Alma Mater, composed by Evangeline Kimber, arranged and performed by Michael Lanier. Our song in the middle was Spotlights by Still Kickin. Still Kickin would like to remind you that if you want more bad music, it gets worse every single year as he gets older. So please contact Still Kickin if you're interested. Would you like to get in touch with Bursting the Bubble or even appear on the show? We'd love to have you or hear what you have to say. Please email us at chainsawsinchapel@gmail.com or send a paper letter to Campus Box 549. That's Campus Box 549. Bursting the Bubble does not necessarily reflect or believe any policies that CIU has or holds, and is not in any way officially associated with Columbia International University. We'll see you next time!